Hello, I am Hui Fang, Occupational Therapist from KKH. As an occupational therapist and a mother of two, I am passionate about play. Play is a meaningful activity that children engage in, just like how as we adults engage in our work, self-care, leisure, and rest activity. I think play is both an art and science. I call it an art because it depends a lot on each individual's expression to the environment or materials. Imagine having a container of blocks. Some may stack the block and crash it. Some may build something or pour it from container to container, or even hide inside your shirt. So there's endless possibility. And because of that, there is also no right or wrong way to play. Over the past few years, scientists have found the science behind play and the impact of play on brain development. For today's presentation, I will first discuss about the art of play and how to engage your child in play, and end off by explaining the impact of play on the brain. So let's take a second to think about the characteristic of play. What does play look like to you? Some things to consider. Is it spontaneous, that happen without the adult's planned guidance, or organized with rules and order and directed by the adult? Where and when does it happen? What can be used in play? Whose agenda might it be? Would it be the child or the adult? Should the focus be on the process of playing or the product that is created at the end of play? Based on definition, play is actually any spontaneous or organized activity that provide fun, enjoyment, entertainment, amusement, or diversion. Like in this photo. I was actually preparing my daughter for bedtime routine and I asked her to keep her books. But when I came back, I saw a bigger mess. Well, the first thing that hit my mind was, oh, why are you doing this? But I decided to hold it back and ask her, what are you doing? She turned around and had that big grin on her face. And she told me, Mama, I'm going to organize the book according to the different size. I mean, at that moment, I was, okay, amused. But at the end of that play, she was feeling all accomplished. And she came to me and said, look, it's now all neat and tidy. Right? I could have missed this moment of spontaneity if I had said, please keep your book now, instead of what are you doing? Play is also an attitude or mode of experience that can occur anytime and anywhere, as long as it is safe and unthreatening. And it can involve anything like art material, daily household items, recycled or reused item, food, water, and of course, toys. All these fun were done over time and involve their internal drive rather than external control, like in this photo. My daughter and I found a big washing machine cardboard box in the void deck, and we decided to bring it home. And we had that left outside our corridor for close to 3 weeks. My kids tried painting on the box with different type of brushes, pasted branches on the cardboard to make a HDB block, pour water on it to see the water drip down. My daughter is starting to write, so she wrote on the board, on the box, she wrote her name, our address. And at the end, they also pasted a crepe paper on at the entrance to make it like a door. All this fun was spontaneous. And my role during that period of time is probably more of a facilitator to set up the environment by placing relevant materials nearby to invite them to explore and experiment. Sometimes getting directly involved to try out some ideas, and of which my children might imitate or uptake some ideas. And more importantly, be a play partner to play alongside with them and have fun with them. After all, the emphasis of play is on the process rather than the product. And for us parents to embrace that playful process, it is important for us to acknowledge our own comfort or danger zone, as much as it is important for us to attune to your child's interest and preference. Some parents cannot stand messy play. Some parents prefer neat and organized. Some parents are comfortable with constructive play but not pretend play. That is okay. Start with where you're comfortable. Build that playful relationship and then proceed from there. You can also consider play dates, enrichment program, or finding other caregivers to provide your child with a more holistic play opportunity. It is also okay to set reasonable play rules and limits like toys within the mat or take turns during play. Play usually happens and follows a sequential developmental progression, and I will discuss more in the next few slides. One of the starting play stage is sensory motor play. It begins at birth and lasts through age 2. During this period, your little one learns about the world by using their senses to interact with their surrounding, and this involves a lot of repetition for mastery, exploring different materials and environment, finding out what the materials can do and how they behave, understanding cause and effect, and learning how to use their bodies or a tool. I have included a list of terminology with similar concept in each play stage, like you could see over here on the left-hand side. This is for you to, if you are interested, you could actually do a search with this terminology and that could help you to generate more specific play ideas. For the next few slides, I would like to focus on talking about the tips for each of the play stage. So during this sensory motor play stage, support your child to develop play ideas by exploring different actions that you can do with an object. For example, back to the example of blocks. You can stack, line, crash, pour into the container, hide it into your child's shirt, play a hide and seek game with that. Yeah. Or you can also explore using different objects to do the same action. For example, when you roll things down the slide, you can use ball, cylindrical items, soft toy, vehicles, etc. Doing so will go a long way to support your child in the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating ideas. Serve and return interaction can be described using an analogy of a tennis game. So where there is that back and forth interaction between two persons. When caregivers are sensitive and responsive to a young child's signal and needs, this provides an environment rich in serve and return experience. Now, let's watch a video to find out more.
Did you know that you can help build a child's brain? Everyday interactions can have a big impact on developing brains throughout childhood, starting even before babies can talk.
Scientists call this serve and return. Like a game of tennis or ping pong, a child serves by showing an interest in something, and the adult responds in a supportive way.
Finding moments throughout the day to do it is easy and fun, and you'll be building strong brains. You can use 5 steps to practice serve and return with any child. Step 1, share the focus.
When a child is interested or curious, you can see it.
What's this? It's a stroller.
Watch this child look at something in a book. Right there, pointing shows interest.
Cow.
So does making a sound, like this child. And mom is paying close attention.
See baby moving those little arms and legs and focusing on the ball? That's a serve.
The key is paying attention to what the child is noticing.
Oh, you like those guys too?
Look at grandpa sharing the focus.
By noticing serves, you will help build curiosity and you'll strengthen your relationship.
Step 2, support and encourage.
You can return a child's serve by saying a word of encouragement.
That's right. Very good.
Watch Grandpa return this serve by saying thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Even a facial expression can encourage a child.
Orange.
Or emotion, like this mom dancing.
Time. A.
You can also pick up the object that the child is pointing to and bring it closer.
We need help to sit her down.
Things like helping and playing with the child let them know that their thoughts and feelings are heard and understood. Step 3, name it.
Yeah, the puppy. See the windows, the house.
When you return a child's serve by naming what they are seeing, doing, or feeling, you make important language connections in their brain.
He's got bumps all over him, huh?
This brain building happens even before a child can talk or understand your words.
You can name anything, a person, a thing, an action, a feeling, or a combination.
Clean up, everybody do your shit.
When you name what a child is focused on, you help build understanding of the world around us and what to expect from it.
The baby's sitting. Ooh, the baby's sitting in the back seat of the car.
You like those? Those are raisins. You have raisins all the time.
Naming also gives a child words to use later and shows that words are important to you.
Step 4, take turns back and forth.
Taking turns helps children learn self-control and how to get along with others.
Waiting is crucial. When you return a serve, give the child a chance to respond.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Note that the caregiver waits here for the next serve.
See this toddler navigating a new adventure? Grandpa is waiting patiently, returning serves by asking questions and then waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
You want to cover it?
Yeah.
Are you cold?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this over your lap like this, okay? You like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
By waiting, you give the child time to develop ideas and build confidence and independence.
Step 5, practice endings and beginnings.
Want to go over there?
Children signal when they're done or ready to move on to a new activity.
Watch how this child shows it's time to start something new. Letting go of a toy signals an ending. Then picking up a new toy signals the next beginning.
Play with the giraffe.
Sharing the focus is important in this step.
Ooh, the big eagle.
Because this mom is sharing the focus, she notices when her child is ready to end one activity and begin something new.
When you can find these moments for a child to take the lead,
Can we try this one?
you support the child in exploring their world
Would you like to play with something else?
and make more serve and return interactions possible.
Sit there.
Serve and return interaction is critical for a child's developing brain. And the best news is that you can do it anytime, anywhere, without any need for toys or technology.
Look for small opportunities throughout the day, like while you're making a snack or while you're grocery shopping. What matters most is that you're doing each of these 5 steps. Notice the serve and share the child's focus of attention. Return the serve by supporting and encouraging. Name it, take turns going back and forth, and practice endings and beginnings.
Serve and return interactions make everyday moments fun and become second nature with practice. Try practicing with a child today.
Yeah, indeed, everyday interaction can have a big impact on developing brain by supporting responsive interaction. These 5 steps to serve and return is not just relevant to the sensory motor play stage, but also across early childhood years. So I would like to just draw your attention to the importance of active physical play for your child's development, such as motor development and attention, and that also contribute to a huge health benefit like better sleep and diet. Based on the Singapore Integrated 24 Hours Activity Guideline for Children and Adolescents, for children aged between 0 to 3, they should be acquiring at least an average of 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity each day in a week. You can scan the QR code to obtain the full document. Yeah, next, let's talk about pretend play. Pretend play developed at the end of the first year. As children start attaching meaning to the toys, for example, taking a toy spoon to stir a cup or using the toy spoon to feed a dog. Young children can use pretend play, specifically role play, to develop story plots, learn about social system and cultural norm, such as the relationship between the mother and the baby, or ordering food in a cafe. Pretend play peak at around 5 years old and evolve into dramatic and social dramatic play, similar to the last two photos. Some tips for this play stage include: number 1, extend and expand. Extend the play by adding on one step at a time. For example, in the first picture, after your child has undressed the doll, you can put a small bathtub next to the child, or you can demonstrate how to bathe the baby for your child to imitate. You can also expand the play by thickening the story plot. For example, pretending to put on the school uniform after the bath, and invite your child to expand the play plot to going to school. Secondly, assume the character by speaking from their perspective and make it fun by exaggerating your emotion. This creates a lively and rich interactive experience that incites and prolongs engagement. For example, in the picture where the 3 kids are attending to a door, hold the door up and pretend to cough or pretend to cry, "Oh, I'm so hungry, I want food," and stay in that moment. Invite your child to come and respond to you, to solve that problem, to respond to that emotion. Be patient. Give your child some time to think and respond. By doing so, you are inviting your child to start solving problem, responding to emotion, and also start thinking about perspective thinking. Next, let's move on to constructive play. Constructive play predominates during preschool years. And this play involves using open-ended material, like you see in the first two, in all the photos here: train track, blocks, magnetic tiles, art and craft materials. So it is goal-oriented and there is a focus on producing something. Constructive play remains high during middle childhood to adolescence, but become more abstract, and it can also develop into art and craft. During this play, relax and stay curious. You can ask questions like, "Oh, what do you make? Why do you choose this material?" Or make curious comment. "Oh, the castle looks amazing. I wonder how people get into the castle." And that could help to extend the play or continue the conversation. Children need a lot of practice for problem solving. So through play, you can promote opportunities for that to happen. As adults, we need to work ourselves out of the role of problem solving and doing everything for them. Instead, we can set up environment rich in problems for them to solve. For example, creating problem to solve. "Oh, the tower is so shaky. Oh, this little piece is wobbling all the time. I wonder what can we do to make it more stable?" Or you can make a wrong move and call for correction, such as, "Oops, I forgot to create a door to my castle. Oh, what can I do? So by doing so, you're inviting your child to solve the problem with you. But like I said earlier on, be patient and allow time for your child to form his or her own idea or solution. Invite and entertain all possible solutions, and play is a safe place to do all of that. To summarize all these play tips, I will show you another video developed by my department on tips to developing play skills using the acronym EFUN.
Hello, I'm Gloria, Occupational Therapist from KK Women's and Children's Hospital. Today, I would like to share with you some tips on how you can be developing your child's play skills. Children learn best through play. A popular quote by Maria Montessori states, "Play is the work of the child." Spending time in play together can help develop your child's thinking skill, motor skill, language, and imagination. Here are some tips to enhance your playtime with your child. We will be using the acronym EFUN. E stands for engage. During playtime, be a play partner and engage your child in play. Engaging your child means following their play interests and not to instruct. You can be a play partner by observing your child's actions and ideas and join in the play. Focus on the fun and make it enjoyable for both you and your child. F stands for follow. Joining in your child's play is easy when you start following your child's lead. Describe or comment on your child's play and avoid asking excessive questions. If your child is playing with a soft toy, you can say, "The bear is so soft," or "The bear is jumping." Copy your child's actions and words. Add on sound effects or be animated in your response to make your response more interesting. If your child is playing pretend, you can add on a character that complements your child's storyline. If possible, use a similar toy to follow your child. Avoid taking the item away from your child. U stands for up. Up the play by adding a play idea. This can stimulate your child's thinking skill. It is important to note that young children play out of their personal experience. Try to introduce a variation that is within your child's experience for better engagement. Starting with a theme within the home, such as meal times or cooking, going to sleep, or having a shower is a good start. For example, you could add, "Oh, the bear feels hungry. Bear eats rice," while you pretend to feed the bear with a spoon. Finally, N stands for notice. After you have added a play idea, it is essential to wait and notice your child's response. Notice if your child is interested in the play idea. If your child is interested, continue the play idea or up the play by adding another play idea, such as the bear has a drink or wipes his mouth. If your child has lost interest, that is okay. Focus on being a play partner and go back to step E and focus on engaging your child's interest. The EFUN strategy is a cycle in which you can engage your child, follow your child's lead, up a play idea, and notice your child's response. If you notice your child is less interested and engaged, that's okay. Return to focus on engaging him again. I hope you will be able to find the EFUN strategy helpful in your next play session with your child. Remember to focus on the fun and resist the urge to over-instruct your child in play. Happy playing!
I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I do. Indeed, the last step of notice your child's response is very important. So to help you to determine whether you should continue, pause, or return to engage your child to keep the play fun. I have also included on the right side the QR code of another video that our department produced about developing language through book sharing. You can watch at your own leisure time. I hope you now have enough tips to engage your child in play, and I will move on to the last part on the science of play. We know that the first 5 years of your child's life are really important. From the minute your child is born, there is a lot of connection going off within their brain, and what that does is to create the foundation for their development. Over the past few years, there has been a remarkable expansion of new knowledge about brain development in the early years of life, and evidence is pointing to these 3 core principles for healthy brain development, and play is an effective way of supporting all these 3 principles, namely, reduce sources of stress, strengthen core life skills, and most importantly, support responsive relationship. Let's look at each of them in the next few slides. Engaging in play reduces stress. There are 2 types of stress. Good kind of stress like fixing a new puzzle, managing your emotion when the tower collapses. Those are healthy for development as it helps the child to cope with future challenges. Another kind of stress is called toxic stress. That is bad for brain development. If the child is exposed to serious ongoing hardship like abuse or neglect and has no other caregivers in their life to provide support, the basic structure of their developing brain may be damaged and disrupt the foundation of learning, behavior, and health. Now, let's look at the situation in the photo. Looks familiar to all of us, isn't it? Would that be a good or toxic type of stress? I think the answer depends on whether is there a caregiver to reconnect with the child after this, and the duration and pervasiveness of the situation. Next, let's look at strengthen core life skills. Play engages core life skills by requiring children to plan their interaction across play. Early on, as we go through all the different play stages, as well as the tips, you could see how play interplays with these core life skills. Scientists found executive function and self-regulation skills to be a set of core life skills that is critical to healthy brain development. No one is born with these skills. They are developed over time through practice and feedback, and with some children needing more time and support than the others to build them. Yet, lastly, support responsive relationship. Play does so by inviting an interaction that is already natural between child and caregiver. For children, responsive relationship with adults can have a double benefit, promoting healthy brain development and providing the buffering protection needed to prevent very challenging experiences from producing a toxic stress response, and thus build strong brain architecture. Parents can support your child's development, and particularly the brain development, by getting to know him or her, read your child's cue, and continue to engage in a serve and return interaction that was covered earlier. So to sum up, the main takeaway messages are: play is developmental. Tap on your child's internal drive and focus on the process. Practice e-fun to engage your child in play. Responsive relationship is important for healthy brain development. I hope you will find the information helpful for your next play session with your child. Have fun playing.